This is Charter Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerantz. We are joined today by Tom Ford. He is the executive director of the Bay Foundation, which is what?
Bay Foundation is a local nonprofit dedicated to the preservation of the environment, that environment being Santa Monica Bay and its watershed.
Define for us the Santa Monica Bay and its watershed.
Okay, for the geography folks
Right.
out there,
It's important.
We were looking at LA to Ventura County line up there north of Malibu, all the way down to the port of Long Beach. And
Which we're literally a mile from right now.
Right, exactly.
Right.
We could probably see it if we got up on the roof.
Exactly.
And then
So it's not Santa Monica.
No, it's not. It's not affiliated with the municipality.
No, but meaning when you say Santa Monica Bay, one
Right.
may presume it's just the water in front of the city of Santa Monica.
No, it happens to us all the time.
It's a huge swath of land.
Yeah, we are the swath of land extends from the Santa Monica mountain
Right.
range going all the way towards downtown, encompasses USC and a lot of those
Right.
downtown areas. All of that drains to the bay,
Right.
and that's what defines its watershed.
Tell us about the Bay. What makes it beautiful? What makes it at risk? What's wonderful about it? What's not so wonderful about it?
I think one of my favorite things about the bay, and this is the nobody knows it
Right.
deal. There's 3 submarine canyons out there.
Really?
So these are ancient landforms
Right.
from when rivers used to drain off of this landscape, and the water was lower, and the depth for our bay gets down to like 1,900 feet.
Is that deep?
Deep.
That's
deep.
You're a marine biologist, by the way. I should
Right.
let our viewers
Right.
know that. You're a marine biologist.
So that's deep.
Yeah.
And that's far deeper than I can go on scuba gear. I'd be
Got it.
a pancake
Exactly.
if we ever got down
Okay.
there. So I do
Right.
very much appreciate that part
Right.
of it. Certainly the beaches are iconographic
Right.
and world known. And really, I think if the bay has a problem, it's that we love it to death. We've built this huge megalopolis next
Right.
to it. We didn't really think through the effects that would have on our coastal environment. And a big part of our job is to figure out what's happening where, what the causes of the problems are,
Right.
what we can do to try to solve them, and then we start taking action as soon as we have that resolution.
And let's talk about one of your focuses, or foci, if I can use that Latin term.
Go for it.
Kelp,
Yes.
which also can be quite beautiful, a little monotonous at points, but really so critical to the beauty and to the ecosystem off the bay. Tell us about kelp and what you're doing.
Right. So there's many species of kelp, but the one that I think most visual is giant kelp. Grows on the rocks on the bottom of the ocean floor from a depth of maybe 85 feet
Okay.
all the way up to the top.
Is it true it grows, like a foot a day or an inch a day or whatever?
It can grow up to almost 2 feet per day.
How?
Because it has that enormous surface area.
Okay.
It pulls the nutrients out of the water.
Okay.
The entire surface of that algae is able to photosynthesize.
I see.
So when the conditions are right, it's laying on an
Right.
inch an hour. I mean, you could almost watch it grow.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's extraordinary, and
Talk
nothing else
to
beats
us
it.
about the importance
Right.
of the kelp. Why do we need kelp? Why do our fellow species need kelp?
So off of Southern California, we have the most diverse kelp forest that we know of on the planet.
True. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
More
it's-
than Australia?
Number 1.
I did not know that. Okay.
So we're
More than
talking-
the Caribbean?
More than Caribbean.
Okay, got it.
More than Finland, Norway, South
Okay.
Africa. I mean, all
Okay.
around the planet in the
Got it.
temperate waters.
Okay.
We're number 1. Over 700 species are out there.
Okay.
Many that would be familiar, and others that folks would
Sure.
never ever remember. So it provides them a home.
Okay.
It gives them the structure. It gives them the chance to find their mates, find their food.
Them, meaning
them,
the
all
kelp
those,
themselves?
all those species.
All
Fishes,
Right.
inverts, crabs,
Okay.
lobsters, urchins.
right. When I
Right.
was talking with you, I stepped on an urchin about 6 months ago. I'm still suffering. But so what is it helping because it's food, or is it provide a location for food to be near? What is it doing?
Both.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say that's
No,
that's the easy
it's
answer.
all good.
So for some animals, they are adapted to feed on that kelp
Right.
directly. Snails, urchins,
Right.
a few species of fish will do that.
Okay.
A lot of the other wildlife that congregates in those kelp forests is there for the shelter that provides.
Got it.
Just like birds hiding in a tree, perhaps,
sure.
or something along those lines.
Now, is the kelp off our coast at risk?
Our kelp off of our coast has been at risk and continues to be at risk due to
Why?
a number of factors.
Please tell us.
Surely. The way that we've altered our coast with its construction, with building our buildings in our communities and our roadways on top of it, the same amount of sediment that used to run off of our landscape with a regular rainstorm is not the same anymore. We've gotten rid of our coastal wetlands, which used to capture those sediments. So they're coming out at the wrong time, they're coming out in the wrong way. That makes the water cloudy, and the light doesn't penetrate all the way down to the bottom.
Okay.
Little baby kelp plants start off a couple cells in size, and if they're not getting enough light, they cannot regenerate and grow.
Okay.
So that's a critical one. Some of our other pollutants have definitely caused challenges out there in the environment. Much of that we've reduced. We continue to make progress trying to get rid of our urban runoff and other sources like that. The biggie, though, the one that really drives the train here, is the extinction or elimination of a number of species that are predators in that system.
Okay.
So we need the predators to control the herbivores,
Right.
those that in this case eat the kelp.
Okay.
And without those predators keeping those herbivores in check, I end
Right.
up with way too many herbivores.
And those herbivores are eating too much kelp?
Exactly. And they can successfully eliminate the
So what
forest.
predators are vanishing?
We had lost our sea otters back in the 1850s. They were hunted out for their furs. A lot of folks, I think, associate sea otters with Monterey, but they used to extend all the way down the coast, well into Baja. So 1850s, those guys were gone. We're lucky, again, we have that very diverse kelp forest out there. Fortunately, we have two remaining predators, California spiny lobster and a fish called a California sheephead. But here's the trick.
Right.
One of the things that we love about otters is because of their tool usage. Right?
Sure,
They've
sure.
got their rocks
Right,
and
right,
they're
yeah.
amazing, and
Right.
we admire them for that. For a lobster or a sheephead,
Right.
the sheephead being that fish, for
Right.
those guys to effectively predate urchins, they have to be big, they have to be experienced, because you're swimming after that medieval weapon.
Right.
You have to ambush it, flip it over real quick, and attack it while you have a chance. So when we fish them, as we have, we take out too many of them. We don't let them get big enough and old enough to actually effectively provide that control on that
Can
population.
we repopulate sea otters in this region?
Well, now sea otters can come back down here to Southern California. For a while, they were illegal here.
Why?
There was a law signed into effect called the Sea Otter Exclusion Zone. This was done in 1983, and it was to broker a deal between local fishing interests and the preservation of the otters. So for the Central Coast, they said, you know what, we're not going to fish in that area. We're going to allow those urchins and abalone and other things that these otters need to subsist upon to happen. Meanwhile, Southern California, which at that point in time didn't have many otters in it at all, we're going to set that aside and say that's for fishing.
Okay. So now what?
So now what? It was decided that trying to manage that became a very difficult thing because otters showed up in Southern California.
Right.
They didn't realize there was a line. Nobody sent them the memo.
Right.
And then it was the responsibility of federal managers to go and capture those animals and relocate them. The otters did not enjoy that, and they would die due to capture-related stress. So they said, we can't move them around anymore. 10 years of twiddling thumbs and people trying to figure out what to do. We finally got a real good decision from a federal court. Judge did a great job and said, listen, let them go back down there. Obviously, we can have fisheries and otters. We don't have a kelp forest if we don't have the proper predation and things. So giving you a bunch of empty rocks isn't helping your fishery anyway. And you know, the fishermen get this too. We're working with a great group of people out there that are assisting us in our project to put back those kelp forests, reduce those numbers of urchins, because if the predators can't do it, we've got to do it ourselves. So we are.
It's amazing the cycle of life and how fragile it can be. And I'm just glad that the Bay Foundation is out there protecting our coast. I'm just glad to meet you, Tom Ford. I appreciate you being here. His name is Tom Ford. He's the executive director of the Bay Foundation. My name is Brad Palmer. This is Charter Local Edition.